all you men out there who are struggling with ED, guess what cheese does? Oh yeah, cheese is giving you ED sunshine. You shouldn't feel tired after you eat, but most people feel really tired after they eat because they're eating the wrong foods. Emotions are peptides, they're molecules. People who are always angry have liver issues. People who always feel stuck with like a person in their life or stuck at work, they have constipation. People who are always feeling guilty, they have issues with the heart. People who have gone through loss and they can't repair the loss, they have lung issues.
Welcome to the Pink Book Podcast. I am your host, Joyce Van Setters, and I continue to bring you game changers and innovators who are redefining their success. On today's episode, we have holistic health educator Karen Ziemer Armes, aka Zuzu. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, and thank you for all you do. You are amazing, and you bring game changers. This is awesome.
Thank you so much. So this is actually a special episode, guys, because Karen and I actually did an episode before, and to no one's fault, that episode got lost. So here we are again, and I would love to jump right in and tell us exactly what is a holistic educator.
So a holistic educator, great idea. We teach the science of natural healing. And so when people come through our programs, they learn how the body works. And so a holistic educator is someone who looks at the whole body. So holistic, even though we spell it with an H, is looking at how does the heart and how do the lung work together? And how does the liver and how does the gallbladder work together? And how does that liver work with the heart? And what happens with the kidney? So it's a really in-depth understanding of the organs, the microbiome, the glands, the tissue, and of course the cell, because I love the cell. So it's all about a cell, like literally it's a cell thing. That's like my logo, right? My slogan, oh, it's a cell thing. And how come some cells grow and divide and make you sick? And how come some cells grow and divide and make you well? And that's what a holistic health educator through our school is. A lot of education on healing the body as a whole and seeing it as a whole.
Awesome. Awesome. Zuzu, for someone who has never looked you up or this is their first time seeing you, tell us exactly what led you into holistic health care.
Sure. Well, I had epilepsy, so I grew up having seizures. Quite exciting on a date, everybody. And so when I had a little bell, and I'd like ring the bell, and then I'm like, okay, everybody, I'm gonna have a seizure. So it was really fun on sleepovers. That actually happened, and it's like, oh my Lord. So
get your popcorn.
I actually. Yeah, get the popcorn is right. I actually was a big competitor and speaking, and I was in forensics, and I won the state championship and had a seizure. I couldn't even go on the stage to accept my award because I was in the hospital somewhere. So, that's what I was living with. And I'm like, no, there's got to be a way out of this. I'm having children. I want to get married. So when I got married, I'm like, okay, I'm going to figure this out. And I just deep dove into what was going on with epilepsy. And I actually reversed it with food. And I have not had a seizure. I am 58. So I have not had a seizure since I've been 18 years old. So almost 40 years now. So
wow, that's amazing.
18, 19, so about 30, almost 38 years. So
yeah, 38. Beyond the buzzword of holistic health, is there another meaning, or beyond what your school defines it as, is there another meaning that you would go by for holistic health?
Well, I actually just came from a big meeting in our county, and we had medical doctors there and people from all the different clinics, and they refer to things like health and wellness. Well, health and wellness is not the same as holistic health. And I think a lot of people they're not aware of that. So you hear health and wellness, but that's what the medical community uses to get you into their clinics. And it's interesting because even our local hospital, they can't keep physicians. There's so many people in the medical world that are staying, but so many that are also looking at alternative routes because we need to bridge that Eastern and Western medicine. And so holistic health is using Mother Nature to help heal the body, breath work and sun therapy. These are light therapy. These are all things that were used until the 1910 flexion report.
Right.
During the 1910, and when they had the flexion report, boom, then it all went out the window. Otherwise, you couldn't be called a medical doctor and wear a white coat, right? And use pharmaceuticals. So they needed to eliminate some of the most impressive forms of therapy, like homeopathy, like chiropractic, like osteotherapy. Now that's come back, thank you, some of that. But it has been really a journey. And so I think holistic health, when you hear it, you have to look at who's saying it. You really
Yeah.
do. And so holistic health should mean they're aware of frequencies and how frequencies can be medicine or can hurt you, right? All frequencies can either build you up or tear you down, every single frequency. And the same thing with food. Your food will either help you have energy and help you rebuild a healthy cell context, or it will destroy you. So that, I guess, holistic health is looking at the whole, not just of the body and how it works
Yeah.
together, but look at the earth. What can we do around us to give us more energy and help us reproduce again? Because we have an epidemic of infertility right now.
Right.
So yeah, holistic it can be viewed a few different ways depending on who's talking.
Okay. There's layers, obviously. Do you
Yes.
believe, that being said, do you believe we have become disconnected to our bodies?
Yes. We've become not
Tell
only
me.
disconnected from our bodies, but disconnected from each other. Our bodies, yes, we here in America, we tend to look at the body in pieces. Oh, I have adrenal fatigue, but then you're not looking at what's causing the adrenal fatigue, right? Oh, I have IBS or colitis or Crohn's. Well, that's a microbiome issue. That's a parasite issue. Like, we're not looking at the whole picture anymore because we're given a label and told you have heart disease. Well, what causes that? What's in your bloodstream? You can't have a kidney issue, which is filtering your blood, without cleaning your blood, right? And then cleaning your liver. So I think what's happened is we've become disconnected because we're told that we're in parts and we're not in parts. So I think we have become not just disconnected with how the body actually works, as most people don't even know because they're
Right.
unfortunately not being taught, but we're also disconnected in that we should be full of touch and love and connection, and we don't even have that, especially what we went through with COVID. We can even see people's faces, right? How awful has that been? So
Right.
I think we did. However, I really see, Joyce, that the world is like, there is a reason that so many of the medical professionals are coming into also natural therapies and taking
Yeah.
our courses and learning more about the Eastern modalities, because they can see that we actually need to bridge these worlds right now.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think it's happening, but as the people too, and the people are realizing, I mean, I went through our town the other day and Pizza Hut closed, and one of those big go and eat all those buffet things are going to kill you.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
closed. So like they're
Right.
all
Right.
closing because
Yeah.
people are like, I'm not going to eat there anymore. I
Right.
should care about my body. So it's happening, which is awesome. I mean, hello, you have
Yeah.
organic hemp seeds at Walmart. So things
Yeah.
are changing.
I'm so glad that you mentioned in there a little bit about people not knowing how the body works, because as a fitness professional, I always say, there's a big umbrella of reasons why people can't lose weight, but the main two that people don't discuss are not knowing how the body works and not knowing what works for your body. That's it. Like, and I'm
Amen.
not talking about being a doctor, but that is the reason people cannot lose weight. That's it. Um, I'm glad you agree. That being said, what are some warning signs that you know of that we usually tend to ignore about our bodies?
When you feel tired after you eat. You shouldn't feel tired after you eat. But most people feel really tired after they eat because they're eating the wrong foods. They're eating a very cooked, dead diet. Food should give you life. Food should give you energy, right? And so when we're eating something and we feel bad, and you can all do this, you can take your blood pressure after you eat a meal and see what happens to it. Most of you are going to have a pulse that increases. Your blood pressure is going to increase. You're going to feel that fatigue because it's taking so much energy to break down your food because you're not eating real food. If you're eating real food, you're going to have better. You're going to feel better. I think another big thing is people start gaining weight and they don't know why. And that's often a thyroid disorder. And so making sure you have enough iodine, which I'm here to tell you that probably 90% of the people I test for iodine are deficient in iodine. And iodine's needed for the thyroid to make
Right.
T4. And that is what's converted to T3 in the liver. And that's how you lose weight. That's what gives you energy. So people who don't have energy when they wake up or throughout the day, it literally can be as easy as an iodine deficiency, which you can get in your food, or you can get a good nascent-based iodine. So I think when people start, if you don't feel great, something's wrong. You should all feel great. And it's always crazy because like when we put people on a protocol, or we work in their diet, or we get them pumping, exercising, and I love exercise. Like I love it. I sauna every day. I do my kettlebells. I did
Yeah.
100 squats the other day. Like, I mean, I just love to
Go
exercise. And
Zuzu.
I know I go Zuzu. Yeah. I'm doing more weight training, but
Good
you
for you.
should feel energy. You shouldn't do weight training and feel exhausted. You
Right.
shouldn't, because then you've used up reserves because you're putting the wrong food and the wrong components in your reserve. And I
Mm.
think so. People don't realize how good they can feel until they feel it. So if you don't wake up and have energy for life that day, if you feel lethargic after you eat a meal, things aren't right in your body. And don't blame your adrenals, and don't be blaming your heart. Like, don't be blaming something. Just really sit with that and go, okay, well, how can I clean up my bloodstream? Clean up the filters, clean
Yeah.
up what I'm eating. Go upstream all the time.
What are some things that we do daily that we think is healthy that's probably not so healthy?
Suck out of a cow. Oh, goodness gracious, would you all give up the wet nurse? I cannot understand it. Like, stop sucking out of a cow. The world would be so much healthier if we just stopped sucking out of a uterus, or not uterus, of a teat right here. Yeah.
A
Or
teat.
just stop sucking out of the teat of a mammal we did not come from. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. I gave birth to 7 children, right? And I
Mhm.
raised more than that, but I gave birth to 7, and they all were really hungry when they were born, and they went right to my breast, right?
Mhm.
Which of course is why I'm half the size I used to be, but that's okay. I don't care. I have healthy
That's
children.
another podcast we'll have another time.
It's not a podcast. That's right. But like dairy, we are not designed to suck out of a cow. We are not designed. And this is so simple. When you all hear this, I want to haunt you. Haunting is coming.
I haven't, just to reiterate, I haven't sucked a cow's teat since I was like 13, so I'm good.
I was in a taxi in Fiji, and I was like, so I noticed there's, you don't have a lot of dairy here, but you have some. And I said, what's your take? He said, oh, milk is so good, you're good, but only until you're 4, And I'm like, yep. He goes, unless you're European and American, that's the only reason we have dairy is for you Americans and the Europeans. And I'm like, oh, honey,
my
I'm with
God.
you. So it is interesting because people don't realize the casein in milk, right? The protein, the sugars, and the fats in milk are all designed for a baby calf. I grew up in Wisconsin. I owned a lot of property in Wisconsin. And when a cow is born, a baby calf is born, they're what, 60, 80 pounds, and they're hundreds of pounds in the first year.
Yeah.
Look at all the Americans. It's not stopping because we're putting too much sugar, too much fat, and too much protein into the body that we cannot break down.
Yeah.
We stop making renin to break down the casein when we're 4. We only make a little bit after that. We stop making the lactase to break down the lactose by the time we're 4 because we're going to stop nursing from our mom. So allergies, the extra weight loss, the sugar, the diabetes, the candida overgrowth, and cancer, all fed by sugars that come from dairy. So that's probably the number one thing people do every day that I'm like, please don't put that in your coffee. Please don't put that in your cereal. Please don't. And men, let me put this out there for all you healthy, because your audience is healthy. Your audience is beautiful. Your audience is like,
for the
I'm going to
most
make love
part.
until I'm 120, And so all you men out there who are struggling with ED, guess what cheese does? Oh yeah. Cheese is giving you ED sunshine. So like if you men
really give more detail on that.
Yeah. Well, think about it. So the prostate is great. So the men need a prostate. We all know that. Women, you don't have one. And so the prostate, there's a few things for prostate health. Regular sex is also very important. Just want to put it out there that is very healthy to avoid prostate cancer. So women, love on your men a little bit more if you can, because that is actually very healthy and very important. But cheese and dairy, especially cheese, is very thickening in the blood. You can ask any phlebotomist, they'll pull the blood and they can see who had the cheeseburger last night or this morning. You can see the ice cream. It's dairy, it's fat. and it accumulates in the body and it gets in the bloodstream so much that what is an erection? An erection is a blood flow. So anybody who's dealing with ED, it is a circulatory issue. So, and I'm just telling you, I've worked with so many men that have ED, and getting them off of dairy is huge in helping to get that blood cleaned up. So ejaculation and getting hard all works a lot easier because it is a blood flow issue. So I'm just throwing it out there because it's fun. And I
Throw it out there.
love the human body. So if
Me
we can
too.
help, I'm happy to give you some information. Yeah.
Me too. Same. How much of our physical wellness do you think is based on our mental or emotional states?
Oh, like that.
Give it to me.
I have this, and this goes, I've written about this in my books, but you can look at a little healthy Tootsie Puts over there who's doing everything right physically, but she's judging everybody else around her. Honey, she's going to die a lot younger than you. So like, I have a really dear friend, and her husband has never cared what he eats. He doesn't care. He smokes. He doesn't care. Right? He is still ticking because he's so positive and he's happy and he laughs all the time. So our mental state is very, very in line with our physical state, and you will experience a better physical health when we have a better mental health. And we do a lot of neuro auto association programming. So we actually work very intricately. Our school, we've aligned with Lamont Wilcox. He's part of all of our programs right now, because we know when changing how we think and realizing where our thoughts came from, because we can be in a free state or a confined state. Right now, you and I are in a free state.
Okay.
But we get off the phone and we get a bad news, or we haven't made dinner, or blah, 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 blah. Oh, and you can become really confined. And learning to live in the free state, that does not mean you don't have responsibility, but you're approaching it differently. And that is automatically going to relax the adrenals and relax the blood pressure. And so, yes, it is 100% connected to the mental state, not just our thoughts, but our thoughts of others and what we're putting out to the universe. Because if you're like, ow, his pants are hanging below his waistband, he must feel, oh, look at that Tootsie Puts. Like, we are putting judgment out 24/7, and all that you put out is coming back, all of it. And so if we're negative to others, you can expect negativity towards you. So just today alone, start looking at people, and even though you might see the baggy pants or their weird hair or blah, blah, or they're treating their kid weird, look for the positive and you're going to find it. And it's going to be a lot more fun complimenting someone on the positive than putting into your mind the negative aspects of that human being, because you're going to find them with anybody. But what are you going to focus on? Because where focus goes, energy flows. So 100%. Yeah.
Okay. That being said, well, first, I'm definitely going to start using the word Tootsie Puts, but that being said, are you a believer that unresolved trauma has a physical state on our body?
Has an anchor in
Has
your
a reaction?
It does. You know, it's like, what do you see? When I hold up that dot, if I hold up this, this piece of paper, you're all looking at the dot. It can't be. It just can't be, because look at how beautiful this purple piece of paper is and the potential of all the words that can go on here. Like, we need to start looking way beyond that trauma that's been in our life. And to release trauma is not this huge, hard, crazy thing. There's emotion code and the bioenergetic synchronization technique, and there's rapid eye movement. There's all these different ways that you can release trauma, but you also can go inside to release that trauma. You don't need to relive it. But I'm telling you, once you release that trauma, it can change the rest of your life. And I actually me personally, I just had a really amazing breakthrough with that, because I had something really bad happen to me when I was 16 years old, including a man who I did not give permission to something. And it has been a horrific thing to live through. And I realized when I went through this last bit of therapy with one of my students, actually, she's amazing. And she does a lot of really cool stuff therapy. And I'm like, I want to try this new one you're doing. But it made me realize, and I actually wrote it down. I'm going to share this to you because I know people listening have had this. I was giving something that was then taken, and I felt a loss of control. I felt violated. And then I realized to remain silent, not to draw any attention to the perpetrator. And I covered that up. That little thing of, I was giving something away. Well, we were just kissing. But anyhow, and then, he took advantage of that, and it was horrible. And then I had to be silent and cover it up. Guess what? that little like sex, that sequence, that was part of my life. I look back and I'm like, oh, I was really good at this person, and then they took advantage of me, and then something terrible happened, really bad happened. I didn't say anything. I didn't put him in jail. Oh, this person stole $40,000 from my business, and they took advantage of me, and I feel really bad, but I didn't do anything and put him in jail. Like that became part of my a
Mm,
routine, and I just
mhm.
let it go because I'm like love all people and move on. When that was brought to my attention, that was my big trauma. I looked at my first marriage and I was like, well, that's what happened. That
Yeah.
exact same thing repeated itself. So when you release trauma, it doesn't just free you. So now you can see patterns of trauma in your life. It frees you so that your physical body can then move forward, because emotions are peptides, they're molecules. The late Candace Pert proved that, and it's amazing. But an emotion is a peptide, it's molecules in the body. And you know that because when you get embarrassed, you turn pink and you feel kind of
Mhm.
hot. Well, did you eat something? No, that was an emotion. So when we keep emotions buried in our body, or not released and not worked through, that physically will take a toll on us. And I have this really cool chart, Joyce, that I put together for my students, and I figured out all the emotions of all these different frequencies of emotion, and then the body. And literally, people who are always angry have liver issues. People who always feel stuck with like a person in their life or stuck at work, they have constipation. People who are always feeling guilty, they have emotions with the heart. They have issues with the heart. People who have gone through loss and they can't repair the loss, they have lung issues. Over and over, I have used these charts with my clients, and they're like, Karen, that's exactly what's happening. I'm really irritated, so now I have a kidney issue. So our emotions can actually lead us down these paths to having traumatic health issues. So
Mm,
imagine when you can release that emotion or that sequence and realize, oh, wow, I feel so much more free. And then
yeah.
boom, the issue in your life health wise starts to clear up. And we see it all the time with the auto association reprogram that we do, and
Wow.
we do retreats here. So if that excites anybody, come to Lily Fields, come to a retreat. You will love all the food, of course, but the transformation that happens in the mind in just 3 to 4 days is life changing, and we see it all of the time. I'm so glad you asked.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna make a trip and come there. First, I just want to say in reference to your trauma from human to human, but especially woman to woman, I'm so sorry that that happened to you. Um, and I want to delve more into how you think food heals our body.
Food.
Yeah, food.
Okay. Um, so think of this: the baby that's born out of a woman. Did it come from Mars? Was there really a stork? So how did that baby grow? It grew from the nutrients it took from the mother. So a sick baby almost always is because we did not have as much health. I should rephrase that so people who have sick kids are like, oh my gosh, no, listen to
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
right? The nutrients needed for the baby must be given to the baby, and they need to be in the bloodstream. But if we're not eating those nutrients, we can't pass them on to the baby. For instance, when one of my daughters was like 17, she's like, Mom, one of my friends at school, someone I know, is pregnant and she's always sick. She's like 3 or 4 months pregnant and she's still throwing up every day. I said, well, go ask her what she's eating. I didn't want to know anything else. Ask what she's eating. And my daughter came home and said, oh, she lives off of Captain Crunch and soda and Little Caesars pizzas. And I'm like, how
oh my
do you make a
goodness.
baby? How do you make a baby out of Captain Crunch and Little Caesars pizza and soda?
Yeah.
You can't make M&Ms. You can't make a baby out of that. And it never ends. And so and by the way, I just want to throw out there, we have such a crisis in America with our babies being born. 25% of the children being born have no bifidobacteria. This is
Wow.
terrible. That is what sets their body up for being joyful, being happy, and having a high IQ. Now,
Yeah.
if 25%, a quarter, 1 out of every 4 babies being born has no bifidobacteria, can you imagine what's happening with the other 3 quarters?
Right.
So food is a medicine. So mothers who are eating fermented foods, and mothers who are taking probiotics, and mothers who are cautious about their body, eating a lot of fiber, because fiber is what feeds the probiotics in the gut,
Mm.
the microbiome. Now we're going to have healthier children. So food, not only at the baby level, but at our age, I get to see it. Oh my gosh. I'm going to see if I can pull it up so I can show your people who are watching. live, but you can describe it. We do live blood cell analysis, and I have the live blood cell analysis that I love showing people because it's totally cool. But I have the live blood cell from a woman that came who was full of mold and toxins, and you can see all of her gut toxins are just floating in her cells. 7 days after eating our food, she literally was able to you can see the bloodstream is completely different. So if I don't find that right now, I'm going to send that to you because I'm not finding it. I don't know why it's not going up, but it was amazing. So that might be it. So this might be it. Anyhow, but I can always get that sent to you because it was life. Here it is. I got it. Okay. So this right here, everyone, if you can look at the screen, those are gut toxins. None of those cells look good. Look at them. Look at the shape. They're supposed to be round and beautiful and vibrant. You're seeing
For all
bacteria.
of you that are just listening, sorry, Zuzu, for all of you that are just listening, she is actually showing us a video of cells.
Yep. And so this is just from a drop of blood. So you can see so much going on. You can see how a lot of the cells look like they have like unicorns sticking out of them, right? That's not healthy. This is after 7 days. Are you ready? Look at that.
Wow.
The gut toxins are gone. They're all round. They're floating. They have beautiful fluid that they're floating in. You can still see some bugs. You can still see some bacteria and some little parasites and candida for sure. But that's in 7 days. So yes, all of you listening, it's amazing. By changing what you eat, what can happen?
What are 3 tips that you could give someone right now to change in their kitchen who wanted to live a more holistic health lifestyle?
Eat more living food than dead. So eat this. This was my salad, right? It was huge. Like eat more living food than dead. So salads and fresh vegetables, that's one. Number 2, increase your water and make sure you're adding salt. Most people are deficient in sodium. But please don't use iodized salt. Oh my gosh. Use like a really good real salt.
Can you clarify what kind of salt, please?
Himalayan salt, real light, like a real Redmond salt, that kind of thing, any kind of Celtic salt, but a really healthy salt that's not been bleached. Most people do need some. You can check with your medical doctor. This is not medical advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. I'm a holistic practitioner. But anyhow, but more water. Most people are quite dehydrated, and that's the number one thing. And then the third thing is parasites. You guys have them. Every one of you has them. Every single human on the planet has parasites. Parasites aren't all bad, by the way. Some parasites keep a lot of that dirty bacteria or some viruses at bay because they're scared of them, or afraid of them. So don't be like, oh my gosh, every parasite's awful. I don't want parasites, but I will tell you, parasite cleansing is something they do all around the world, and we don't do near enough of it in Europe and America, and your life will change. Your gut will change when you start killing off parasites appropriately. So get some knowledge base before you jump into that, because you never want to go into any kind of cleanse if you're constipated. And constipation this is the definition of actual constipation, not having 2 or 3 bowel movements a day. If you eat 2 meals a day, you will have 2 bowel movements a day. If you have 3 meals a day, you will have 3. If you have no bowel movements in a day, you are constipated. And so we really want to make sure that we get you unconstipated, which is not hard to do, and then do your cleansing. But if you start cleansing and you are constipated, you're going to reabsorb all that, and especially the dead matter. And parasites are pooping in your body all the time. They don't call it parasite poop because people would freak out. They call it endotoxins, but that's what it is. So when your bacteria are dying off and your parasites are pooping, you're full of endotoxins, which your body is trying to help get rid of. And then that takes all the energy away from actually fighting what's going on in the body.
Great. Thank you for those. There's so much health and wellness information, I feel like, online. How can people separate legitimate holistic health education and separate it from hype and fear?
Oh gosh. Number 1, don't trust AI and ChatGPT. Please just ignore that right now. You're not going to get health information from that. Trust me. I literally go there for entertainment. But anyhow, you have to be careful because you've got these paid influencers out there now that are cute and have big boobs, and they're selling all sorts of supplements and things for you to do. They didn't get educated on this. You really need to look for someone who's had a quality education and who is backed by that. So we offer certification courses, but a lot of these little mom and pop, get a health coach certificate, right? Pay $500, watch these videos and print it. No, 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 no. That's someone who, if they weren't quizzed and examined, and if they don't understand labs, like, you really do want to find someone who understands the autonomy of the body, the how the body functions, how cells function. Just talk to them. If they can't explain frequencies to you, if they can't explain fats and proteins and carbohydrates to you at a cellular level, you probably don't want to get advice from them and look how they look. And then find out what they're selling. We don't sell anything. Holistic Health Educators, our school, we don't sell things. We're not affiliated with multi-level marketing. Like, that's just not what we do. And so look at that as well. If they're out there selling something, oh, this, and here, buy this, I'd be a little careful. Now, I recommend products because, and I own a store. I own a health food store. I have an online health food store, but all of it's food. Like, I'm not going to recommend a rack ground up and stuck in a capsule, because that's never going to get you well, and it'll turn your peel yellow. So, like, you do want to find those who are educated, and then it's getting hard because we have so many paid influencers, or you have a functional medicine doctor or an integrative doctor, but then it's $5,000 to take their course, or just to improve your health. For $5,000, you can go through our school and become a certified holistic health coach, and you can teach much more than just gut. So really look for, the people who have a qualified backing. And that is the hardest thing right now. We're like through the MBHWC. So, we're medically recognized as well. But you got to be careful. We all have to be careful, because information right now, it's everywhere, but what's real? Brick and mortar places, and that's what's real. So
yeah, and it's overload. I always tell my clients, you have to be your own doctor at this point, to some extent, right? What is something, as a woman, that you feel that you've learned as you've gotten older that you really, really, like, had no clue when you were younger?
it's a good question. I had no idea when I was younger that my thoughts were as powerful as they are. I didn't. I knew my
Okay.
thoughts were cool, blah, blah, but thought processes and what we put out, that comes back to us. I had no idea the power of thought. And I do these really cool, I do a lot. I teach muscle testing and applied kinesiology. Like, I love it. And it is amazing. I can take someone who has all sorts of deficiencies, and I can put them in the front of a room, and I can have 50 people, 100 people, 1,000 people literally be quiet, and literally I'll muscle test different parts of their body, and they will get all this wonderful, love sent to them, and more than that, but it's real positive energy for 1 minute, just 60 seconds. I go back to test them, and they're rock solid. I have done that so many times, and people's lives have changed, literally medically changed, with that many people sending that many positive vibes. And at the end of that, I always tell the people in the room, I'm like, so when you're walking down the street, what are you going to do when you see someone? Like, are you going to send them negative energy, or are you going to send them positive energy? Because your thoughts are that powerful. And we've seen it over and over again. People wonder, well, how come prayer works, or how come fasting works, or whatever? It works very often, not always, but it can work very powerfully, because that type of frequency sent to a human body is going to elevate it. And I've done so much research on this. Sunspots on the sun will alter when you have these huge meditative groups meeting. It's proven, it's documented. My favorite thing to teach is there's these groups of people that are from different countries, and they've been trained to emit specific frequencies like peace, right, or joy. They will take these frequency emitters, I'm sure there's some fancy name for them, and they'll put them in a very big city. They have crime meters, whatever they're actually called, I don't know, but these crime meters, so police know when there's a lot of crime, they have to have more people on the police force that are available and out on the streets. They will put these people in these buildings, a high rise in these big cities, and they will have them emit peace for an hour, right? An hour and a half, and crime drops all the time across the board. Like, you can look up all these, it's amazing. So one person can have such an incredible frequency and impact on their community, on their family, and whatever, in their school, in their work. And we don't realize the power of our thoughts and who we are and what we emit. That's one thing that blew me away. I knew we were powerful, love each other and blah, blah, forgive and move on, whatever your beliefs are. I had no idea that physically changes the angstroms, which is a voltage meaning of the human body. Like literally changes the vibrational frequency of a human when they are given that much attention and that much love.
Yeah. I'm so
It's mind
agree.
blowing.
I so agree with that. Um,
Mm.
Zuzu, who is Karen when she is not teaching or pouring into others, and how does she pour into herself?
Oh, I love to be in the kitchen. I love making food for people. I love making food for people. I actually make most of the food at the retreats because I just want to make you food. I make so I can be doing lots of other things that are I make a lot more money at, but I love making food for people. It brings me so much joy. I love music. I love music. I enjoy reading. But I love writing. And I love riding my bike. I love bicycle riding. And I love taking walks. My husband is my best friend in the world, and we hold hands all the time and we take walks and we visit. And I've got a large family, so it's fun to check in on the family. But for Karen personally, Zuzu, it is definitely just I love life and I love being outside and I like walking around the gardens and walking and I love people. So a community is big for me, but that's who I am. Lots of loud music. I like loud music. My kids grew up with me blaring the music in the car. Literally, I'd have 12-year-olds telling me, Mom, turn the radio down, turn the music down. I'm like, oh, but I love loud music. So
I love that. I love that. Was there a part of your health journey that was super, super difficult before you got to where you are now?
painful was when I reversed the scoliosis. That
Mm.
was incredible pain. It wasn't like I would not do it again, but it was worth it. It took 18 months, and I have the before and after X-rays up on a post.
It
So
was a
that was
physical
painful.
thing that did it, or a mental
Yeah,
or
I did.
combined? Okay.
It was physical. I did. I went to my angel of pain, Carlene, every week. She was myofascia specialist, and so she worked on the muscles, obviously doing myofascia, not massage, myofascia work, and then chiropractic and acupuncture. And that did it. It was incredible. So that was probably the most painful thing. Emotionally, the healing that probably was 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 physical because some of the issues that happened to me when I was younger, female wise, and I'm 58. And my husband right now has been amazing in helping me heal. So physically, from abuse, there were things that were traumatic for me to experience and feel. And as a woman, that is something that I have found I'm so much joy in. And isn't it crazy that I'm 58 years old and I'm now finally healing from
Yeah.
things that happened when I was so young? And I wish more women, we don't need to get into the specifics, but I wish more women and men would talk openly about it, because I probably, had I had the right best friend or companion, could have healed earlier, but it
Yeah.
took this long, and it's okay. It has been worth every minute. Now that I'm able to heal through that. So it's not like all of us who live and breathe holistic health and we feel amazing. I do. I feel amazing all the time. My skin, people pet me all the time. People come and pet me. I cannot tell you. My husband and I laugh all the time. People come up and pet my skin. Oh, whatever. I feel okay, whatever. I'm used to it. But it has been amazing because I still have to heal too. Like there are still parts of me that have needed to heal, and it's been a really neat experience, and I'm happy to share that because I don't think we have enough people inspiring people to still continue to heal and let go.
Yeah.
It's never too late to start the day over. And you're not too old to heal from physical trauma or mental trauma, or from if you're 200 pounds overweight and you're like, I'm going to quit. No, don't quit. Number one, keep listening to Joyce. She's amazing and she has great guests on here. But like, don't give up, because you're worth every episode. You're worth every minute, and you're worth dumping that milk down the drain. You are worth taking that cheese and throwing it out. Like, don't even give it to your best friend. Just get rid of it. You're worth throwing the soda down the drain. You are worth getting rid of potato chips. You are worth so much more than your doctors have probably told you. You're worth more than your family has told you, because they're probably aiding you to become and stay who you are. Oh, honey, it makes you feel good. Well, the hell with that. I don't care if it makes you feel good. It's not making you feel good. That's why you don't feel good. So if you don't feel great, you need to look at yourself and your surroundings and what you're eating and what you're drinking and be like, that could be some of the culprits. So you're worth it. And I don't think people realize they're worth it no matter how old they are, no matter what stage they're at. They're worth taking that extra effort.
Yeah. It's not just visionary with your skin, why people want to come pet you. You're also pretty magnetic, so that's why. And so they don't
So
bump into you, they have to touch and pet you.
fun. I
Um,
love it.
I have a closing question for you. So, if your life were a pink book and we opened up to the chapter that we are living right now, what would the title be?
Relentless.
Mm.
We are releasing a documentary over the next several months. It's a 3-part documentary, and it is titled Relentless. And that came to me when we were doing the last shoot, the last video, the ending scene of the documentary. And as soon as we were done with it, I had this incredible rush through my body because I needed a word for the documentary, and that's what we called it.
Girl, you just gave me chills.
Wait till you watch the documentary.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Really
awesome.
fun.
Well, Zuzu, thank you so much for coming back on the Pink Book podcast. This was amazing, very educational for our watchers. And I just really, really appreciate your presence and your energy.
Oh, thank you for having me. Thank you so much. And thank you, Joyce, for all you do to help people to get you rise up. You're helping them rise up. And I just can't thank you enough for doing what you do, because as a podcaster, it's not like you're making a ton of money doing this. And like, you give a lot of yourself to do this. And I hope the viewers know that all those of us in this world, we really do care. We care so much about people, our viewers. And I'm so proud of you and happy for all the things that you are doing. Really
I
amazing.
appreciate you. I do it because I'm a lover of people and I'm a lover.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I want to let everybody know that I am still on Apple, on Spotify, on YouTube. And if this is something that resonates with you, join my community because the best is yet to come.